What's going on? Today's episode is an episode I recorded with Jake Bogert from Alt Customs, who also runs MES. He also recently, or used to work, or formerly worked with Singe Gaming. This is one of those episodes that is more focusing on company growth and building a company, and as opposed to working for a team or an organization. And I think it was, I guess, a breath of fresh air because I haven't recorded an episode with somebody who focused more on the company side of things versus the team and organization side of things in a little bit. So, we talked through, quite a bit of different things on building company brand, expanding company brand and reach and different content marketing strategies, things like that. So if you're into or running your own business or learning about how businesses work and things like that, that's definitely a great episode for you. Other than that, be sure to make sure you're following the podcast. Leave a like on this episode if you could do it on whatever you listen to, and let me know what you think of the episode. Other than that, here's the episode. Have a great day. All right. Hello and welcome back to the After Hours podcast. Here with me today, I have the founder of Alt Customs, the founder of MES, and former Singe Gaming, Jake Bogert. Thanks for coming on, Jake.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This will be a fun episode. I think there's definitely a lot we could talk about. All across the board, like building a company, coming up with the conceptuality of it, like maintaining the brand and all of those things. So I think we'll get into quite a bit here. So first, I wanna talk about Alt. I guess probably mostly. So where did that idea come from? Did that just kind of hit you at one point? Was there, talk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, so I've had 6 years into Singe Gaming. About 5 years at that point. I noticed kind of a gap in the market for. I mean, anyone can go on Amazon or whatever and buy custom keycaps and throw them on your keyboard. That's no problem. It's pretty easy to do. $25 here, there, whatever. But looking at Astro Gaming released this Astro ID headset where you could customize everything you could on the headset, the size of it, the plates, the cushions, everything. Being in the custom gaming peripheral space for 5.5 years at that point, 6 years, I saw a gap. There's no website you could go to and customize a keyboard in a very user-friendly way. You couldn't go on there and just click the colors you want and have it shipped to your door. You'd have to a lot of do it yourself on there. Mm-hmm. So we just kind of started conceptualizing. I put together this little mock-up website, ordered a bunch of sample keyboards from different manufacturers that I had in contact with already. Decided I wanted some changes to the board, so we contacted them, had them change a bunch of things, kind of ended up coming up with our custom board. A lot of these companies out there, you'll see these keyboard companies starting up, sell this Chinese 60% GK61 keyboard. We're not messing around with that board. We're not doing that. We got our own custom board made. But yeah, we saw a gap and we tried to fill it. Really, that's really all there is.
Cool. I mean, in my opinion, that's that's where a lot of successful companies come from. Like, seeing a gap and you having the foresight to have that understanding that you can do it either better or provide a service that isn't already provided is I think a great first step in, like, obviously building any company. So I'm a little curious, like how does when you said you had some sample keyboards like ordered, did you like send them specs, or you said, hey, what do you guys currently kind of produce, when you talk to these manufacturers and they just sent you samples? Like, what does that kind of look like from the product development side?
Yeah. So reached out to a couple manufacturers. They had a current existing board. But I said, hey, we got I think 12, 13 samples in. I said, I don't like this. But I do like this and this and this. I said, hey, can you make this board a little bit lighter? Can you put some rubber feet on the bottom? That kind of thing. Just little changes here and there. And eventually, several models through, we figured out we finally like this design. We're going to stick with it. And that's what we're going with. But we actually have some new stuff coming up, but I'll get into that later. But yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Cool. Yeah. Now, what was your kind of your go-to-market strategy? Like, obviously you had an idea. Obviously, it wasn't something that was readily available in the market. What did you do once you obviously you did all your work, you put in all the effort, everything, and you're ready to press go? What was your go to market strategy, and how did you come up with that, and how did it
Um,
execute?
so 100% of our business is done on social media. So um, I know from every aspect of this industry I've worked in is social media and constant fresh content is number one. So we put together, I mean, I put together so many graphics, so many pictures, edited, got this whole content laboratory of stuff together, a folder. And I'm like, look, we're going live. It's going live today. We were gonna do it in 2 weeks, but we ended up just pushing the button on a certain day. We were both ready. A buddy Jeremy who helped me start the company. Um, get in contact with content creators, streamers, that kind of thing. Not really in the esports market. We're more in the Twitch market, Fortnite players, Warzone,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. So we targeted these streamers and had just an ass ton of content to go. I mean, if you notice our social media, we post sometimes 10 new pieces of content a day,
Mm-hmm.
constantly. You'll never see the same post more than once. Just really keeping the content fresh. And if you put that stuff out there, people just seem to like it, and they interact with it. They share it around, that kind of thing. We also do giveaways that you won't see anywhere else. Well, you might see them some places, but instead of doing retweet and follow giveaways, we do, okay, there's a number hidden on our website. Go find it. You win a keyboard. We got thousands of website hits in one day from doing that. We just do a bunch of different stuff like that. It's really trying to do unique, interactive things.
Yeah, I think like obviously, whether it's considered a cop out or not, but like doing retweet and favorite giveaways or like must be following type thing is very just not maybe not overdone, but it's like it's nothing new. I really like that concept of like, hey, go find the number on the website and you get a free keyboard or whatever it
Right,
is.
right.
I think that's cool. It's like it's innovative in a sense, and it's fresh. Obviously, you get a ton of website hits, so obviously there's the value there. Now you mentioned that you're not in, or you not that you're not in the esports realm, but like that's not your primary focus. Is that or why is that? Why do you feel that you guys aren't, hitting that market?
Um, so
Yeah.
even with my experience at Singe Gaming, we noticed a huge shift in the industry when Fortnite came out. Um, Esports teams are fantastic, but they have roster turnover so significantly. So for you guys like jerseys, that's probably like Sector 6 is probably great because then they got they get new jerseys and things like that. But with our product, they tend to get the product and then just that's it, never hear from
Hmm.
them again. And rosters turnover so quick. The organization might tweet us, but no one's watching that page. They're in it for the actual creators or the players. Those players aren't promoting. We just noticed a huge uh, difference in ROI in terms of content creators versus esports players. Really, I mean, we'll definitely work with them, but it's not our main priority.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like obviously, I haven't thought of it from that mindset, and it makes perfect sense. Obviously, I think that's where that's kind of why, maybe not why Sector Six does well. Like we don't like the turnover from players is not by any means like what's keeping us afloat, but we've definitely seen the same organization that build a strong rapport with us, like they turn over their players or their one player gets replaced or whatever the case is, and that's recurring business for us, and recurring business is great. Whereas with I guess maybe hardware in general is just not ideal because you're at the end of the day, I don't know what those relationships always look like, but a lot of those relationships end up being free product, whether when you're sponsoring an organization. So
Yeah,
obviously your
yeah.
relationships might be a little
It's
bit
just
different, but
constant product refreshing.
yeah.
Keep sending them product after product after product, and the rosters just change in and out and in and out and in and out. And it's just a rotating thing. We'll be a part of it, but it's not our primary focus. It'd have to be a very specific team to work with, I guess, if we were going to kind of open that back up.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Now, do you find that I'm sure you work with both like individual creators and like a full-on organization. Do you find that you guys lean more towards one or the other, or is it kind of split?
Definitely more towards the creator. We are actually starting to work with organizations this week. We're talking to a couple we really like, but definitely individual based. Again, it's just an ROI thing.
Yeah.
We do kind of offer orgs a unique thing. So I mean, maybe other companies do it too, but we do it also. If an org has players under it that they sign and want to be partnered with us as well, we'll double all commissions for that org. So the player would get some too. So that's kind of our
Okay.
thing. If we work with orgs, we really like to get the players their own codes and their own boards and keep them supporting too because they'll earn commission on it as well as the org.
Cool.
But
Now,
really, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys your like overarching marketing strategy is is mostly affiliate based marketing, like in a
Um,
nutshell, or is it deeper than
Somewhat,
that?
yeah. So we have applications to sign up on our website. You can apply to be sponsorship. We actually don't accept very many of those. So we accept very few. We do go on the look for partners. We have a full team on our staff that kind of looks and actively seeks out for partnerships. Our
Okay.
website's our secondary source. We do kind of like season kind of things where they can apply. We'll go through all of them at one time. Sometimes we go through them on a daily basis, but really it's seeking out those partnerships individually.
Cool. Now, what is your, I guess your, there's a lot of different ways to word it, but like your 2, 5, and like 10 year plan. Like, what are you guys focusing on like right now? I know you recently launched, was it the custom keycaps like on demand? Was that what that
Yeah,
was?
so we can I actually have a Minnesota Rocker one right here. If you can see it in the camera, but we're
Super dope, by
actually
the way.
doing. Oh, thank you. We're doing custom logo keycaps. That was our next big thing. We actually have. Don't want to get too much into it, but we have a product that I think we're going to release in 2 to 3 months, and I think it will change the game completely. I don't think anyone will be able to duplicate it. I think we're going to be the only ones doing it. That's kind of like our immediate plan this year is to release. We have 2 new products coming out. I think it's going to be really cross my fingers, and I'm really hoping it's a must-have thing. I really think it will be. But our 5 to 10 year plan is to be a peripheral provider. We start off doing the custom keyboards. That's where our heart's at. Everything we
Mm-hmm.
do is going to be custom. We'll never release a product that you can't customize. We got the custom keycap sets, the boards, the keycaps. The next product is customizable too, and I think it's going to be drastically different from what everyone else is doing. But yeah, I guess our big plan is to get more peripherals, get bigger partners, and kind of grow that way organically. Um, our biggest thing is staying on top of our current partners and just growing a really good relationship with them. We recently launched a tournament website called Alt Customs Arena, where we host esports tournaments for our creator tournaments. So we allow our partners to host tournaments on there as well. So one of our partners wants to host a tournament, we say, here you go, you can host a tournament. We'll give you a board. That really helps grow the brand. So to grow that website, to grow our products, and become this gaming peripheral company like Razer, SteelSeries, Corsair, that kind of thing.
Cool, cool. Now,
Yeah.
where did that? I'm interested in like where that conversation came from to start that, like the tournament kind of side. Is it just kind of entirely, for lack of a better term, shoot the shit conversation that you're just like, well, let's just make a tournament
Well,
platform.
I've run multiple tournament sites through our company MES events. I know
Hell
how it
yeah.
works. I know there's a lot of problems with them. So we contacted a developer, got
Mm-hmm.
this site made up for us, and we put certain features in mind. We want to make it so our content creators, we'll admin all the tournaments for them, but we can host tournaments on there. It really is for product awareness, right? These tournaments are free to enter. We're giving keyboards away. We're going to live stream the tournaments. It's really just brand awareness is what the site is for. We're not looking to make $1 million on the site. We're not looking to make any money. It's product awareness. That's really it. It's to give our community. We do community nights through all where we'll say, here's my Activision tag. You guys join up, and we'll play gun game for 2 hours. A 2 hour gun game where you play for. I mean, the game literally lasts 2 hours. You have to get like 200 kills to win or something stupid. But it's the same kind of idea. It's like our community night where we go, okay, tonight. So tomorrow we're hosting a 1v1 fist only melee tournament in Call of Duty. We're gonna have tons of people in there playing. We're gonna talk to them the whole time, interact. We're gonna live stream it. It's just for fun, really. It's really just brand awareness.
Yeah, I think those are great ideas. Again,
Oh, thanks.
not necessarily something that, again, it probably isn't something that's never been done, but at the same time, it's not something that I've seen. And I think that's definitely, a huge brand awareness. Obviously, your biggest market is gamers. You're selling a keyboard, primarily, or a custom keyboard. So, like,
Right.
obviously, you're catering towards probably mostly PC gamers, but at the same time,
Yeah. Yeah.
gamers in general. So obviously, what better way to get in front of them than play games with them, type thing. So I think that's I mean, obviously. Now, do you see like strong returns on your brand awareness for that, or is it just kind of?
Yeah, actually we do. We ran our first tournament this last weekend with 5 other companies. We all teamed up and did a big prize pack, and we just saw a lot of users sign up for the site. And they go on Twitter, they're following, they're interacting with us the entire time. They're tweeting out their streams. They're in their stream titles. They have alt custom. So, for example, we're doing a big Valorant 5v5 tournament coming up, and a requirement for each team is that they have one person live streaming it, so we can hop in there and broadcast it. But what that enables now is if you have 100 teams in it, now you have 100 live streams with alt customs in the tag. That's great product awareness out there. Just bringing users in, we capture their emails. We can email them funny memes. We can interact with them that way. market their emails that way. It's just like, it's a great tool all around to capture users and just kind of get them on board. You might have a Call of Duty player playing on Xbox, but now he's on our playing in a tournament and he sees a keyboard in the background on our homepage.
Mm-hmm.
Now he clicks on our Twitter and he gives us a follow. Just really kind of keeping our community tight knit and following us on all platforms.
Yeah, for sure. Now I want to kind of flip over to like the production side of things a little bit. So if I went on your website today and I ordered like, entirely custom, obviously, they're custom keyboards, tons of different colors. What does that production build time kind of look like from, I place the order to the day it ships?
Well, we have a rush option for 2 days, or we have it out in 2 days. Our shipping is extremely fast. We ship every order within 2 to 3 days. That's the actual shipping time to your house. Custom build time is 3 to 5 days. If you can see behind me, actually, we're at the home office right now because of COVID-19. Got everything lined up here. We got a bunch of build stations along the wall. You can't see in the camera view. We have our printer, our laser engraver, and everything. But no, as soon as it's ordered, I mean, we have 30 something orders in the queue right now. I got to get out in like the next couple days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's extremely fast. That's our number one thing is you go on Amazon, you order something, you get it in 2 days. That's why eBay's dying. You go on eBay, you get it in a week and a half, 2 weeks. You go on Amazon, you get it quick. That's what we want. We want to bring that experience to everyone. You order a custom keyboard. That's how the whole industry should shift towards that. When you order something, you need to get it fast. That's just kind of the standard now, and that's what we're trying to follow.
Cool. Now, what is the like for you? Like for one keyboard, what does the build time typically look like? Like actual labor hours?
Not very long. We order it in parts and we piece the parts together. Individually.
Yeah.
All from the same source. Well, actually 2 different sources.
Right.
But I mean, it's extremely fast. We can do multiple in an hour very easily with one employee.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now I guess labor hours. I kind of wanted to transition this a little bit, or maybe not transition, but my next question was going to be like, how staffed are you guys? How many employees are you guys kind of rolling with right now? If you're comfortable, sharing that.
Yeah, I think let's see, 1, 2, 3. 6.
Cool.
6. Yep, 6.
Fun. Yeah, I mean that again,
these are part timers.
Yeah.
But we're actually right on the verge of being able to do this full time. I mean, I'm doing it full time now.
Mm-hmm.
All the money we get is putting right back in the company. I don't take anything out just yet. But we're right. I mean, this is our biggest month yet, and this month we're going to start paying our employees on a regular basis.
So I want to take this in 2 directions. One, I ask because there's from a social media standpoint, it's not always exactly easy to tell how many employees a company has. The easiest way to do it is kind of, if you're that into figuring it out, you scroll through whatever the company's following, how many people have, XYZ company in there, so you could do the research that way. But for me, like seeing what you guys do, the presence that you guys have on social media, the reach that you guys have, the success that from a public standpoint, it seems that you guys are having, I think it's super interesting that, you're only being ran by 6 people. And I think that's great.
Thanks.
So that was kind of why I asked that. And then you also mentioned, which I think is super, super interesting, that this is your best month yet. How long you guys open, like public?
No, November. We opened November, and this is definitely with COVID-19 going on. People are at home, they're buying, they're sitting at home gaming. They see our social media and they buy it. It's just fantastic. I mean, it's incredible. I think the whole industry saw a 2-week dip when coronavirus first happened. I know several companies that I've talked to had the same problem. After that, it's just been an uptrend.
Yeah.
Stimulus checks are out. People are buying with stimulus checks.
Yeah.
There's another wave of stimulus checks going out this coming week, and there's actually another package being pushed in the government right now for monthly funds to people. And if that gets passed, I think it's just going to be insane.
Yeah. I mean, this conversation could go in a completely different direction now with the way that you mentioned that, because my brain I didn't hear some of that stuff. I don't want to get into that because I don't know all the logistics around that. But that could be really good for you guys, and running a product-based fulfillment company on my end too. Like obviously that could be pretty good for us too. But interesting to see what happens there for sure. Obviously, I'm leaning more towards this COVID-19 wrapping up and kind of getting out of existence, but I guess we'll see what happens over the next couple months. So obviously this is a live stream. I had tweeted that we would take questions in chat, so I have a couple questions I was going to read. We have one from Ghetto Smurf. I like your name.
I know Smurf very well.
Oh, nice. How does Alt plan to deal with quality of product when looking at big companies like Razer and SteelSeries when it comes to boards?
Yeah, so we're very strict on our quality stuff. I mean, like I said, most companies out there are using this Chinese GK61 board. We're sourcing our stuff from two different sources. Um, we're not playing that game. We're not shipping a crappy product out to people. We do get some stuff from overseas, but we don't mess around when it comes to quality standards. Our return rate, I mean, is just absolutely to a minimum. It's ridiculous. It's less than 1%. It's like 0.5%, and that's our RMA rate. And if someone has a problem with their board, we ship them a brand new one, no questions asked. We give them a couple little things here and there, but to kind of fix it. But other than that, we ship them a brand new one. Going forward, our quality standards are actually getting more intact. Like I said, these new products are coming out. We're just we know who we're competing with.
Right.
People have our product in their hand now. They love it, but we're just being super, super strict on what we put out there. I'd never put something out there that I wouldn't buy myself. And I think that's just kind of our philosophy on it.
Cool. Yeah, that's the kind of this similar mindset to what we've had. We wouldn't. We're not happy with putting out crap, I guess, for lack of a better term. So you mentioned your return rate is super, super low. Now, in the off chance that somebody does return something, are the boards, when you bring them back in, can you dismantle them and reuse those pieces, or is it like set
we do not, especially with COVID-19 right now. Don't even want to mess with that.
Yeah,
keep the board. We're not taking it back. Keep it all. I don't want to mess around with getting sick. No, we don't reuse anything. No. It's keyboards. They do have a lot of moving parts. I wouldn't want a used part going in someone else's board and then getting something that is subpar.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Obviously, I don't deal with hardware, so I didn't even think that far ahead. Now, what was my follow-up question to that? Like, I guess my follow-up question was like, in theory, are when you finalize a piece in the board, like, is it unreusable? I guess the question maybe on the consumer side, like, do I have to buy a new board if I want to change the colors on my keys, or could I just buy 11 keys?
Yeah, you can totally customize the keycap set. Just like any other keyboard, the keycaps come separately. You can they come on the board, but you can order them separately.
Okay.
People can go online. They can order, if they ordered a white and blue board and 2 months down the line they're not happy, they can come spend a couple bucks on our site and get a whole new custom color board and change out the keys in 5 minutes and have a whole new.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, obviously there's the RGB way to do that, and then there's the color way to. Are your boards RGB lit?
They're all RGB. Yep. And actually, There's no software. Every color effect is built into the board with 3 buttons. You can change the effect, the rate of the effect, the speed of the effect, the color, all by 3 buttons. It's your function, control, alt, control keys starting the board.
Oh, sweet.
Well, that's something we look forward to. We didn't want, I had the Razer stuff before, and I love going on there and changing the software and changing the keys. But if I could just do it with 3 buttons really quick, I think it's a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that's super cool. I have a Razer keyboard too, so like. Obviously, there's the ease of that, but at the same time, I really don't change it all that often. But that's me. I know there's a ton of different things you could do with that, like on your.
Oh, end. Yeah, the Mac, the software is great. It is very expensive to produce, and we just thought we'd get it built in the board and have them do that for us. Then maybe down the line we'll do something along the software lines, but a little easier this way.
But no, I agree. For me, I'm more like on the side of like. Easy. If you give me 3 buttons, these 3 buttons do X, Y, and Z. And it's just like I might be more apt to change the colors then, because right now I literally don't. But if I could just flick them around, I think that might cater a little bit more towards me and like my personality. Next question. This is from Detrouty. What does Alt look for in sponsorships in all content creators, pros and orgs?
Again, I've been at Singe Gaming for years, and I have noticed it's community. We've signed streamers that have 1,000+ viewers at once, and they do almost nothing for us. We have some streamers with 4, I'm not kidding, 4+ viewers, and they sell 20, 40 products, man. I mean, just it's community. If your chat is talking to you and they're active with you, that's what we're looking for. Viewership is great, doesn't mean anything really to us. It's just your community.
So. I agree 100% there. We've seen similar kind of situations, and I'm curious. So now my follow-up question to that is, and this is something I'm super curious with, when you do the research on your end, or the partnership outreach, you have that kind of, you're doing the research to either bring on a new team or a new creator, whatever the case is. How do you distinguish the difference between, a streamer that's like a 10 concurrent viewer streamer? What do you do on your end to kind of justify this guy, he's going to push product and sell it versus this guy's not going to push product and sell it? Is there, something on your end that you look for?
Yeah, my team does a lot of that for me, and they're really, really good at it. We have someone, Deb. We have four people: Deb, Rob, um, Jeremy, and Drew, and they really work hand in hand every day, and they go through these applications, and they have a really good feeler for what works and what doesn't. Um, I've been running the partnerships and marketing department at Since for, like I said, 5 years. Partnerships more the last 2 years, so I kind of have a good handle on, um, you know, you really go with your gut at the end of the day. You send them a
Yeah.
product and you hope they do something with it. You really go with your gut, and yeah, it's kind of. I mean, you run the numbers through Twitch Tracker. You check their stream. You check their chat. Who's talking to them? Are they nice? Are they interacting there? We check every social media platform. But really, at the end of the day, it's you go with your gut and you hope it works.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um, Now, in working with teams and organizations, like I guess separate from create, I mean, I guess this could apply to creators too. Like, what do your relationships typically look like? Are they very, transactional? And obviously, again, I said this before, but like, we don't have to get too far into it. But like,
Yeah.
is it transactional in the sense that you're going to provide product or some type of stipend, and they promote the product? Do you do more than that? Like, are you building, what kind of relationships are you building with these brands and stuff like that? Like, what does that kind of
Yeah.
look like? Maybe
Oh,
from like,
that's a great question.
sorry, I guess the high to low. So like, what does the entry level kind of look like, and then what does your like upper echelon kind of relationship look like?
Yeah, yeah. So from the bottom up, I guess we have the application spots on our website. That's kind of our secondary source. We sign affiliates on there, and we give them
Mm-hmm.
instructions on how to move up the ladder and kind of become a full partner. And a lot of them grind towards it, and they've actually moved up, and it's really nice to see that. We
Mm-hmm.
have an open. We use our Discord a lot. We have an open Twitter DMs. We talk to a lot of our affiliates and partners that way on a daily basis. Um, but at the top echelon, some partners we do pay a monthly stipend to. Um, some are commission based. Some are both. Um, but we really our top performers are our partner. We have three partner levels: partner level 1, 2, and 3, and then affiliate at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So our partner level 2s and 3s, we really keep a really close knit community with them. We have them in a Twitter chat. We talk to them on a daily basis. Our whole team does. How's your day? How's this? Vibe check, just random stuff like that. But we really keep a tight knit community with them. Um, Also, we send them out new product at sales goals. Hey, you want to do a giveaway? We've never turned on a giveaway. Everyone asks us to do a giveaway. We always send them product to a giveaway. You want to give away a keycap set tomorrow? No problem. We send it to you. I mean, we've never turned one down ever. Again, the tournament site is a really big thing for us too, because we see our partners growing on Twitter. They just hit a subscriber goal. Hey, let's run a sub tournament let's run a tournament on our new tournament site for your subscribers. So now their 500 subscriber goal, they can all pour them into the site and give them a chance to win something, and that brings them more subscribers because they now they want to play in this tournament and join it. So it's
Yeah.
ways to kind of grow their community. That's a great way to grow their community,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time promote our product. So it is transaction. I mean, no matter what company you're with, you have to see some ROI out of your partners,
Of
but
course.
it's more of a, again, like I said, we're really community knit. We really like to be close with our partners. We have a partner named Concentrated Mind. So I hosted the MES gaming tournaments, and a couple months ago we needed a caster. So we're like, oh man, Mind is a great talker on stream. Let's see if he can cast. So we flew him out to Michigan, all the way from Arizona. He cast the entire weekend, did a phenomenal job, flew back, and now he's really tight with us. So just little stuff like that between the MES company and things, we can bring people out to do commentary, just little unique things like that, like tournament sites and things like that.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
great. Now, you mentioned MES, so I think there's a good transition point here. Now, what does your current, day to day or like roles look like for MES?
MES is it's not even daily anymore.
Yeah.
So before we kind of MES was our baby. We were growing that. It was going to be our full time job. It was crazy. It's my first esports venture. Soon learned that was not going to be the case. It's really a great tool to promote our products. So at the events, we have our Singe Gaming, we have our alt customs, and that's everywhere. I mean, we have the booths everywhere. It's a great hub to kind of promote our products. So at MES and Singe MES, alt and Singe are going to pull X amount of dollars, X amount of numbers at the event. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really an advertising tool for those two companies, and also it's just a great community thing with our friends. We have 25 staff members or 22 staff members. Last tournament, we fly out from all over, Canada, Michigan, everywhere. We fly them all. We have a great time together. It's we meet up, but MES on a daily basis, nothing. When it
Yeah.
comes tournament time, I'm creating graphics, pumping those out, scheduling them, but it's really not that hard anymore to do MES. It's just kind of kind of just something we do every 3 to 4 months.
Yeah,
Um,
I would
yeah,
imagine it's one of those things that, like, you've done it for so long. It's just very,
it's
you've
routine. Yeah, very
yeah,
routine.
you've ironed out all the efficiencies. Like, you could bang it out in a couple hours, all the graphic work or
Exactly,
whatever. You
exactly,
just set it all up, and then it's just fun from there, type thing.
exactly,
I can
exactly.
totally see that. Now, are the staff members that you have for alt, are they kind of also previous, or
Just one of
also?
them. Just
Oh, okay.
just one of them. Jeremy. He's fantastic. Let me tell you about Jeremy, man. Jeremy is. We did a tournament in New Jersey. This man volunteered on our website, flew himself out. College kid, broke by the way. Slept on the hotel couches the entire weekend just to volunteer and get his name in the basket to kind of work the future events.
Damn.
Ever since then, he's been involved in everything I did. He worked at Singe Gaming with me. He worked here with me. He wants it. He wants to win. He needs it.
Hmm.
He's really, really dedicated. So he's the only staff member that crosses over.
Cool. Well, that is,
Yeah.
if that's not a dedication story,
Oh man, he's
I
the
don't know what
greatest.
is.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so obviously, I mean, that is in its own, like, a quick little spin-off topic. Like, for a lot of people don't understand that there's a lot of work that goes into, making a name for yourself, whether it's, you're building something from the ground up on your own, or you're doing the work to, like, prove that you're the better candidate versus X, Y, and Z person, whether that means you have to sleep on a hotel couch, or you have to,
Yeah,
scrounge up the last couple dollars that you have to fly to an event, or whatever the case is. Like, there's a lot of sacrifices that can be made. Obviously, nobody's asking you to do that, but when you do something like that, you're proving that, you're there, and you're interested, and you're hungry, type thing. So
yeah. It's either have it or you don't. You
yeah.
either want this, you're gonna eat, sleep, and breathe this, or you don't want it at all. There's no ifs, ands, there's no gray area. You either have it or you don't, and
Hmm.
he definitely has it.
100%.
Like Heck said, esports is 20. This industry is a 24/7 thing.
Yeah.
If you're not up at 3 a.m., if you don't have tweets scheduled for 3 a.m., you're missing so many interactions. If you're not up early in the morning, you're missing interactions. Every interaction on social media is a big gain for the day. It's yeah, you got to be doing this 24/7, risking anything. You got your guys out here complaining they can't do it. They're not growing on Twitch. They're not doing this. You're not streaming 6, 7, 8 hours a day. You don't want it. You gotta go out there and get it.
Yeah. No, I'm all for you there. That, and
Yeah.
I'm a huge advocate for, like, being consistent. Like,
Consistency. Yeah.
like you mentioned, if you're not streaming 6, 7, 8 hours a day, like, you don't want it that bad. But if you only have 3 hours a day, like, if you're streaming every
Yeah.
day for three
I
hours,
guess it's not.
not
I guess. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
not to knock at you for saying that. Like,
No.
obviously,
No.
there's
Yeah.
people with 8 hours that could do it, that aren't, putting the time. That's on them. But, there are people that are working a full 8 hours, a 40-hour a
Agreed.
week job,
Yeah.
and they only have 2 hours because they got kids or whatever. But at the
Right.
same time, like, if you're putting in 2 hours from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. every single day, Monday
Exactly.
through Saturday, you're gonna grow.
Exactly.
Unless you're not
Yeah.
entertaining, type thing.
Right. Right.
But if you put the effort in,
I guess I meant in terms of increasing your quality, things like that.
yeah,
When you get home from work and you're streaming, don't sit there and sulk. Get up there and talk.
Yeah.
Talk to your chat. Talk to them the entire time. Just as long as you're being consistent, you're going to grow.
yeah. Yeah, and that goes with, content creation. If you're on the side of, like, business and you're building your own company, like, you get in what you put out. I've always, really kind of lived my life based on that. So,
It's true.
definitely follow that. Where were we? That kind of went on a slight tangent. Current MES. So obviously we went through that. So I'm a little curious. What did your day-to-day kind of look like at Singe? I know you were in charge of marketing.
Let me tell you about Singe. I drove about 3.5 to 4 hours a day, depending on the traffic. It was kind of crazy. But no,
Talk about dedication.
Yeah, Singe is great. I loved every minute there. Learned a lot. For worse or for better, it was an awesome experience. Love everyone over there. But yeah, since our daily basis was towards the end, I got to work from home full time. It was fantastic. I got to do alt and do Singe kind of part time at home. But when I worked at Singe, it was 3 days a week in the office and 2 days at home.
Okay.
And wake up early, get there, drive home. I mean, I did. I get there. I tested every controller that went out the door in the morning. We did ship controllers all day long, but I tested all of them out in the morning for sometimes 4 or 5 hours, sometimes less than that, just depending on the orders. Then I did I had a weekly list of things I'd accomplished. We got in marketing meetings and went over everything. Then I'd grow the social media, take pictures, do partnerships. I kind of was the Jake of all trades there. Kind of did a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned you tested the controllers. Was that you got to play a few rounds of Call of Duty with each of them, or like,
Not really. No, no. We
yeah,
have some software we run it through that kind of tests every function on the controller.
damn,
I have to physically press the buttons and move the joysticks around. Wasn't
okay,
hard work.
okay,
But finding, I mean, sometimes you might have a thumbstick that rubbed a little wrong. And that's, I mean, that's how good Cinch is too. They're very meticulous about everything. If a thumbstick
mm-hmm,
rubs around the hole, even a little bit rough, they're fixing it. They
mm-hmm.
even redo the whole thing sometimes. They're really, really meticulous there. I mean, Cinch gaming controllers last product placement real quick. They last forever. But yeah, it's very meticulous testing. So it wasn't hard. It was just very meticulous work. Sometimes I'm testing the game, but not really.
I kind of want to dive a little bit deeper into this because I've seen people say that the cinches last forever. Now, knowing absolutely nothing about hardware or any product on that side of it, like hardware or peripherals and things like that, what is the difference between a Singe controller and another controller? Because to me, visibly, they look the same. Obviously, the specific colors and stuff, but what is it from the hardware standpoint that makes it last longer?
So Singe has a really clear vision on their product and what they want to do with it. We've always had that vision. It's you make these things to last. Like people there bought other brands of controllers. Employees, that's how it started. Is they bought other brands of controllers. Jim, the owner, they broke, and they said this is kind of ridiculous. So they're in the basement tinkering. Him and his wife are both engineers, and they put these. Got one right here actually. They put their buttons. These are the old buttons. They put them in the controller.
Yeah.
And they let's list it on eBay, see what happens. They start selling eBay like crazy. Long story short, the main difference is some of the internal boards. Since has custom flex boards and things that do not break, we get them custom made for us. It's like the board that overlaps the actual board in the controller, custom made for us. But it's OEM parts. We use Sony parts. Other companies are using parts from overseas. You look at certain different controller brands, they have different shaped controllers, wider ones, different things. Those are all made overseas. We use 100% OEM parts from Sony. That's the difference. They don't break. Our parts, their parts are just better there.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you could have the same molds, you can make it look exactly the same, but the fact that, it's directly from Sony.
Different plastics, different. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Different. The thumbstick modules are OEM Sony. The other brands are using probably 4-cent thumbstick modules from somewhere else, just to get their product cost down.
Yeah.
That's what they do it for. Yeah.
Damn.
So it's all OEM parts. Yeah. That's why Cinch is, literally I've had one controller for 4 or 5 years. It's never broken.
Wow. Yeah, I have two, but it was an out the box PlayStation controller, so
that
probably would be fine.
It's OEM parts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So I think that's interesting. Like, obviously, I hadn't been able to get into the nitty gritty of that, and that was something that honestly has been something like I always see it. You always see, oh, my controller broke. Oh, I've had the controller for 3 days, it broke. And I've always wondered that. So I appreciate the insight.
Yeah. It's just the quality parts is all it is. Yeah.
Cool. So I think as far as like, baseline questions or anything like that, I think I covered a good majority of, alts what you guys are doing, your directions that you're looking to go and all that. So that was my main questions. I had the two that I got for MES and Cinch. Was there anything that we didn't, brush over too quickly or you wanted to bring up or, kind of a closing thoughts or whatever?
I don't think so. Just how incredible our staff is. They kick ass on a daily basis. These things are team based. For a long time, I was doing the MES and the tournament thing, trying to do everything myself. But you got to find a team that works hard and is really good at what they do. And when you find that team, you'll know you got the right team. And you hit the perfect perfect mix there. It's your team. Your team does everything. You're only as strong as your weakest link. I'll put it that way. And,
1,000%. Now, okay, you brought that up. And now you mentioned that you were considered a Jake of all trades. Now, at what point do you make the decision to replace something that you do by a fully functioning, like a second fully functioning individual? And how do you become comfortable with allowing somebody else to take your responsibility off your plate? Because for me, that's something that's
very hard.
Yeah,
it's very hard.
As somebody who has done, like not everything, but like has had his hands in just about everything. That's kind of, I'm sure, an issue that a lot of people are having. Like, how do you trust somebody? Not, you know what I'm getting at, but like, where do you make that decision?
So there's certain things that I will do forever, and I won't let anyone else do them. I make the social media graphics, and I handle our social media. That's something I'll forever do. I think I could see me doing that forever. I don't let anyone else touch that. That's my kind of baby. I think that's what drives a lot of our sales. So like that's my most important thing. I transitioned into a lot of the back end stuff. I used to be front end. I'm doing the website work now. I made the website. I do a lot of stuff like that. Partnerships was hard because I was really big into getting these certain partners I wanted and handing that off to our team. It was really easy transition here because Jeremy worked with me at Singe Gaming and MES, so I knew his ability, and bringing him on board to handle that was seamless. He did it essentially a fantastic job running it at MES. Bringing him over to Alt to run it was not difficult at all because I knew his ability. And then since then we've grown out the team to Deb, and she heads it all. We have Rob and Drew who are kicking ass. They handle a lot of our sponsorship applications and getting new partners. But yeah, it's just certain things I won't let people touch. Certain things I will. It's that's a daily struggle. Is finding things. Am I spending too much time on this? Is this taking 4 hours a day when I could be doing this? Can I hand it off to somebody else? Are they going to do as good a job as I would or something? It's very difficult.
Yeah, I totally get that.
That's a daily struggle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, and it prompted me to ask that because I think that's going to be super valuable to somebody who's like trying to like lessen the load on themselves or whatever the case is. So I'm glad that came up.
You got to know you can trust them. If you can trust, you have to be able to trust that person with your life. And
and it's hard to do. It's not the easiest
Very
thing
hard.
to be able to be like, yeah, I trust this dude with my life or the money that the company is bringing in or like a potential sale type thing, because there's a lot of directions you could take that. But at the end of the day, if you trust somebody with your life, you trust somebody with every aspect of a company, hopefully.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So other than that, the last, arguably the most important part of the podcast is the shameless plug portion. So if anybody wanted to reach you or any of the companies that you manage, what would be the best way to do that, to talk to you?
Jake at altcustoms.com or Jake_PSD on Twitter. I respond to just about every email. Twitter gets kind of cluttered, social media, but definitely email Jake at altcustoms.com. Best way to reach me.
Cool. Well, hit Jake up with any questions you got. If you need a keyboard or anything, you just want to talk business, obviously hit Jake up too. But other than that, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys all for hanging out. This one we did live, so thank you for the Twitch chat, hanging out in here. This was a lot of fun. And as always,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. That's it. That's the end of the episode. I'll catch you guys later.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for talking, man.